Welcome everybody to another episode of Providence Lucha Talk. This is Luisito,
With your boy Jay Aguila.
and we're here to talk about TLC.
Yes, sir.
All
This is
right,
the first time we've done one together in a while.
true,
That's
true,
crazy.
and especially this one. I felt this is the last show before the Road to Mania,
Yes.
so it should be very interesting.
Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. It's going to be fun, guys. It's
Uh-huh.
going to be fun. So let's do it.
Let's-
So what's the that we're going to be predicting?
All right, so we have the Women's Tag Team Championship: Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Asuka and her mystery partner.
Ooh, cool. So, yeah, and before anything, I had to throw on a sweater for this because it's going to be really, really ice cold for this match. The person I think that's going to be her mysterious partner is showing evidence that she's in an airport, she's flying out, and I think she's the one who's going to replace Lana. Even though I wanted Lana to have a moment in WWE with, some type of momentum she was building up, but I think Charlotte Flair is going to be Asuka's partner, and her and Asuka should be sufficient to win the women's tag team because I think that's the title that Charlotte herself does not have.
I think that's the only one that she might not have. So, and they also have history together teaming up, and they have. I think one of the reasons why, if Charlotte's coming back, one of her reasons for beefing with the current tag team, is because Nia Jax kind of was the reason why Charlotte left because she got injured. So there's also like story from there, and I think this might be the only plausible besides Asuka and Lana, the only plausible team that could probably defeat this monster team that we have for the women's tag team.
I also believe, and this is a little bit far fetched, but kind of it, like you mentioned, this is the road to WrestleMania. We all know that Ronda Rousey, her contract is ending on April 1st. So that's, I believe, the day after or of WrestleMania of next year. So I think her opponent may be Charlotte or it could be Asuka since those two are the only two
True.
she hasn't faced since Becky's still going to be out for maternity leave. I think that will be a great way for a wrestler match, WrestleMania moment. But again, this is a little bit foreseen in the future, but I thought that was one reason why Charlotte was also returning back.
So we both got Asuka and Mystery Partner.
Yes, we do.
So we're gonna see finally a title change for the women's division. Then up next, still going with the tag team, we have the Raw tag team, the New Day against the Hurt Business. I think this is gonna be a good match. We've seen this throughout the weeks. They've been feuding with each other. I think for me, I think it's about time.
Okay.
We might see another. I think this might be another title change. I think the Hurt Business, they might be the one who might capture this. I feel they are in seek of gold, and it's about time for them to get a one over the New Day, and also then it'll be a good thing for the New Day to be the basically the like be the hunters, and maybe later on win another one and keep adding to their resume, kind of like how R-Truth is doing.
I wanna I wanna say the Hurt Business could be their moment, just because again, with what you said, and also the fact that Xavier Wood, also known as Austin Creed, does have a gig with G4, and G4 definitely is going to take a lot of his time and commitment as well for him to be able to do what he has to do there and take care of his YouTube channel. So it could seem that we might get a little break from the New Day while things are being sorted out before they go back to the title. So Hurt Business, hopefully, is your time to shine.
I think the only thing I feel like it's gonna be not an X factor, but it might be. I think Matt Riddle might get involved in some type of way because I know he's been beefing with MVP, so I feel like he might try to help. I think he might be the help and hindrance for the New Day. So I think he might go into to help out, but I think he might be the cause for them to start losing.
I mean, but if this is a regular match, so
Yeah.
if he does DQ the New Day still stay
True.
as champion. So again, the possibility of Hurt Business winning it in my book is like a 55 chance. But if Matt Riddle is going to be an element that might cause the loss, then it's just going to tarnish our record. But New Days will just still be rocking the belts. So,
True.
Let's see how it goes.
All right. So the next we have the Fiend versus Randy Orton, and there's gonna be a Firefly Inferno match.
Video package.
Yeah, I think it's
Automatic.
sort of. I feel like every company's doing like a cinematic thing, which is fine, especially now because of COVID and stuff. So at least they're
Especially for
being
wrestling.
creative.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be, I feel, not the best match of the pay per view, but I feel this is gonna be the most interesting match of the pay per view,
Yeah.
visually and everything, story and stuff. Because they've had, uh, not an Inferno match, but a couple of years back we had Randy Orton against Bray Wyatt,
The thing. Yeah.
the part of the Wyatt family, and him
Yep.
like burning down the compound. So I think this might be the payback that the Fiend needs. I think he might take one over Randy Orton. And think I'm picking the Fiend for this one.
And just to give a little bit of history too, I think this was back in 2018. Yes, Randy Orton burned down the compound. Uh, Bray Wyatt ate whatever was left of Sister Abigail,
Hmm.
and then from there he was able to uh, obtain the WWE, I think, championship. WrestleMania, Randy Orton beat Bray Wyatt for the belt. So they do have chemistry, guys. So this is not a bad match that going to be provided to us because again, there's history and it seems there was unfinished business, not yet, ended. You know what I'm saying? So
True.
I think visually, I think it's going to be a little bit entertaining. They definitely could do similar to what they did with John Cena, but make
Mm.
it much darker if they can. And
True.
by darker, I mean more flames, more action packed. Because Bray Wyatt, I don't think has been in movies, but Randy Orton has done movie for WWE production. So I think they have the budget for it.
Yeah,
They
and I
have the
feel
budget.
like the one of the reasons probably I still think the Fiend has to win this one because he's been turned as like the big baby face, master baby face of Raw.
Mm,
And Randy already had his title run this year, not for long, but he already added one to his notch. So I feel like they need to build. There's more for the Fiend to lose than Randy to lose because Randy could be with anybody.
hmm
But I
hmm
feel like Alexa is gonna be a key component of this. So I don't know
Oh,
if it's gonna be
definitely.
used as a pawn for Randy Orton kind of to manipulate the Fiend or whatever. But Alexa's gonna be an important key. But I feel like the Fiend needs this to, especially coming up now that we have WrestleMania coming up soon. It's a good way for him to get some type of build up for, especially for the biggest stage of the year.
So we in agreement. The Fiend winning this
Yes, sir.
Okay, burnout match. Okay, cool.
Yep. Up next we have the SmackDown's Women's Championship. We have Sasha Banks against Carmella.
And it's a regular match too, guys.
Yeah,
So DQ is definitely full effect. The story that we're seeing with Carmella and Sasha Banks seems to be more verbally. Sure, we saw some popping of champagne and some random dude. I don't know who he is. If you guys know who he is, please just write down in the comment below. Has been interfering with the matches, so or their beef. Um, Honestly, I don't see Carmella as champion yet. Maybe for a match after a pay per view after Royal Rumble, I could see her going for the belt
hmm
or taking the belt, and then Sasha winning a WrestleMania type of moment. But
I could see her
Sasha
win the Rumble.
Carmella,
Yeah.
that's a whole different topic right
No, but
there. But
I feel like they
let's put an asterisk on
yeah.
that right there.
I feel like they building her strong for a reason. Not they're not because they basically
Facts,
she got repackaged and now she's built up even stronger, and she's
facts.
been taking Sasha Banks to the limit and kind of like I know using champagne bottles and leaky and stuff, but I feel like she's making a stand, especially for that division for SmackDown.
Correct.
I feel like they doing this for a reason. I don't know if maybe a big payout for Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, or whichever,
Mm.
but I think it's not Carmella's time yet. And
Okay.
also Sasha just broke. They call it the curse, but like she every time she wins a title, she loses it immediately. So I feel like she got over the hump by beating Bailey and basically holding the title thus far. And I think she's gonna continue being the title. I feel like until maybe a little bit after Rumble or even before Mania.
So the thing with the curse, right? I thought the curse was like she loses her belt
Hmm.
after the first pay per view. Like the pay per view after she won the championship,
Yeah,
she usually loses the belt. And I think her and Bailey had a rematch on like a regular Friday. It was no pay per view match for
true.
it.
But it was just
So
like every time she basically out of the four horsewoman or Basically, anybody that came from that group from the NXT, she
Yep, yep.
basically wins it and loses it immediately. There's
Pretty
no
much.
really like no momentum or push while she has a title reign.
No. She definitely has that habit, but I thought it was more like the pay per view after she won the
Yeah,
championship. I thought that's when she loses her belt,
yeah.
but
So I think
uh,
it's she might have a not a long reign, but at least past
she
this pay per view, and we'll see what happens.
yeah.
2021.
I mean, hell of a year for her too because she has won the Raw Women's Championship, the Women's Tag Team
Mm-hmm.
Championship, and now the SmackDown. I mean, like, what other athlete has been doing that than her? You know what I'm saying?
True.
Besides the tag team being switched over, but like
Yeah.
that's pretty
I
productive to
think
me.
she's won. Did she's won Money in the Bank too? Or that's the only thing she might be missing, right?
I don't know. If
I
you
think.
do know, comment below.
Yeah.
Let us know if she have one. We'll do the research
Yeah.
later, but
But yeah, no,
personally,
that's
I don't
something
think so.
that'd be something maybe
And
that'd
Royal
be kind of
Rumble.
interesting to see maybe next year, the upcoming years. But that should be a good match. But I would say everybody keep an eye on Carmella for future endeavors. So we'll see the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, WrestleMania. I feel they have a something building big for her for some type of reason. Then
Yeah.
we also have basically the last two championship matches. We have the WWE Championship. We have Drew McIntyre against AJ Styles.
In a TLC match.
Mm-hmm.
Both championships, last two matches are TLC matches, which is kind of weird because I thought there was
The
going to
whole
be
paper was
more.
TLC.
I thought that the women are going to use chairs and
Yeah,
tables, but okay,
yeah,
whatever. This is the time to do it. You know
I
what I'm
know.
saying? Whatever. So Drew and freaking AJ Styles with that 7-footer motherfucker that he has.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. I really hope Drew keeps the belt. I don't see AJ as the WWE champion for Raw personally.
True.
That's
I,
my
I
take.
feel like
There's no build up, but it's just
yeah.
like I don't know what to feel.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't
both.
know what to feel.
We'll talk about Kevin Owens late after this, but I feel like Kevin Owens and AJ Styles are kind of like a filler person in between. That's kind of like what happened last year with what was it with was it Bobby Lashley? Bobby Lashley against Kofi Kingston, or no, it was Bobby Lashley. I know Kofi Kingston when he had the title reign, they put people in between just to like fill the time before he got defeated by Brock Lesnar during the summer.
A lot of it was with Randy Orton. Randy Orton was one of the big fillers
Yeah.
for them, and yeah, he had other matches with
But most of the people
Sting
that
and
we
stuff.
basically last year we had Kofi Kingston's kind of with the title reign. There was a lot of filler people in the just to fill a pay per view, which was okay, but it was just like we knew they weren't gonna take it.
Mm.
But I feel like the big guy, the 7-footer, um, I don't think he'll do too much, but I feel like it's a good way to incorporate him to more pay per views and stuff, and maybe you have another big guy. Um, but I feel like Drew's been this year has basically been Drew McIntyre's years. He's been the spearhead of Raw since Mania, so I don't think that's gonna last too long. But for 2020, he will remain champion. But there is a kind of somebody in the background looming. We have the Mr. Money in the Bank. Do you think he's gonna cash it in? Do you think it should be a good time for him to, especially TLC? Anything could happen. You know, like he could get injured or attacked with chairs and ladders and everything, and maybe the Mist might take over. Or do you think there might be a cash in happening tonight? Oh, well, tomorrow.
I mean, like if it's a bold prediction, yes, this is the opportunity for Miz to
Mm,
actually cash in the belt. But before I go more in depth to that, I believe in Drew McIntyre all year since WrestleMania that he was like this was his moment.
mm-hmm.
I believed in him when people doubted him on comments and other social media platforms, saying like he's not it, but he has proven us wrong. I'm glad that Drew have evolved, promo wise, outfit wise, move wise. Like the guy is a freaking monster.
True.
Even when he lost his belt and got it back, I mean, like, ain't no shame to that. There's no shame to that rivalry and how he's been a two-time champion this year. Uh, if by any chance Miz does cash out the belt on him, then it leaves us with one question, right? And the question is this: is Drew going after the Miz for the Rumble, or is Drew's going to be focusing his energy now on Roman? Because we've seen that
Mhm.
there's still been a little bit like chitter chatter between both brands, and I think the best platform, if the Great One himself doesn't appear for WrestleMania,
True.
Drew seems to be the perfect guy to be Roman's dance partner. Hypothetically, guys, we're just
Yeah.
spitballing, but it seems that we could see that type of match happening in WrestleMania. So we'll see how it goes.
That would be a good point because I feel like it all depends on what The Rock has to not decide, but if he's available during that time.
Actually, depending on when this is being aired on social media, there is a talk that he's going to be in Talking Smack real soon.
Yeah. So
So,
we'll see if Rock is available, then
mm,
Drew might maybe continue as the World Champion. But
ooh,
if The Rock is unavailable for some reason, because
mm.
things happen, especially how the world's going on this year,
And he
it's a good
owns
story.
a movie production.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
His tequila is killing the game, breaking records. He owns the XFL,
Yeah,
and
everything like sports attire and he's busy man.
his
But
family survived COVID. You
you
know what
know,
I'm saying? Like,
but so let's say if Plan A doesn't work, which is him, but basically we want to see the head of the table against The Rock, which will
the
be
great,
crazy good.
the great one himself.
But McIntyre and they have that place spinning still just in case that doesn't happen.
Yes.
Um, but I think the Miz, this will be a good opportunity for the Miz to cash in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he will be successful
Mm-mm.
because he'll be the fourth person or third person that hasn't
Ooh.
been successful. So I think he might be added to the history book in that way, which will be not good for the Miz, but good for the Miz because he'll be in the history books once again. Um, but I think this if it, today's my Sunday for TLC, I think might be his opportunity for to best to cash in.
So me is the way how I'm thinking is just like I want my heart is telling Drew to win, right?
Hmm.
However, if AJ Styles wins the belt, right, and then you have the Miz cashing on AJ Styles,
That'll be he could win it. Yeah.
then you do have a story
Hmm.
to continue on.
Then you
And
have a
Drew,
not a tag team decision, but you could have them two with Morrison and
mm-hmm,
the Miz and continue on. But you know, this amazing company is not that good of a story, so I don't think that might happen. But if it does, kudos for
I'm
them.
surprised how you use the word amazing company
Yeah,
and then follow up
yeah,
follow is not good.
yeah. But but if they go with that route, that's pretty good because that's a good story, especially that filler from now to April March. That's good, and you get the other guy involved, and you have Drew available because you can even have Drew and Sheamus because they had feud and beef and they're together, so you could diffuse
Yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying? So at least you have something for Drew
it
to
seems
do.
like
You know,
coexisting. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with
So that should be interesting to watch. I think this might be the second to last match most likely because we most likely gonna have this match coming up, the Universal Championship. It's gonna be Roman Reigns against Kevin Owens. I think this might be the last match of the day because you need to have the head of the table closing out your show.
So the first TLC match would be the opener. I would open with Drew and AJ Styles.
Uh
Personally, I could see that.
I
But
could. I think I would put the women's tag teams first, just to as a
why?
big return. If we're gonna have
Why?
a return,
Nah, because the reason why, and if I'm fading away in the
yeah,
background, is because my lighting is freaking suck right now,
yeah.
guys. So let me
It's just
just
so many truth that you're telling you is fading into
like,
darkness.
the universe doesn't
Yeah,
want me to tell you
yeah,
guys. So with the matters that have now before I fade away,
yeah.
um, the reason why I don't see the tag team being an opener personally is just because you have two major matches TLC, and those take
Mm,
time to set up and time to
true.
make sure you want to give it as much again time
Hmm.
as possible for the performance. So opening with Drew, because you made a good point. Roman Reigns is the head of the table. He's definitely is a superstar that's killing it right now. You want him last. You know what I'm saying? That's your eye candy for the whole pay per view. Cool. So Drew, right? Then you could definitely jump in with the tag team of the guys. You know what I'm saying? Or Sasha Banks.
Mm-hmm.
The women's tag team, I would like it for it to be either close to the Roman Reign match or right in the middle. So that way, when Charlotte Flair, if it's Charlotte Flair and she returns, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, then it's going to be really hype. There's also a possibility that we didn't even say it. It could also be Iro Shirai.
That's
These
what
guys,
I was thinking, EO, but I'm like, I haven't seen any reports or anything coming back. I know she got injured and she vanished.
yeah.
So that'd be interesting if that could be a good option.
I mean, like that's just spitballing right
But
there. I'm
also,
not
kind
saying.
of like side note, I know you haven't been too much in tune with NXT, but I know you watched some of the reviews and highlights and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, the Rumble, Boa and Zaya Lee, those two, how they have a story and somebody's kind of like telling them what to do and kind of like torture.
Hmm.
What about just kind of, I don't know who the person in the chair is, but what about if that's Io Shirai, like the mastermind behind Boa,
I mean,
and
it could be
maybe you know what I'm
Asuka
saying?
herself. I don't know. Like
But
it
it's
could be.
just like there's nobody. I don't know. I just haven't seen too much of Io anywhere around, either NXT or Performance Centers, any news or whatever. Maybe going back to Japan. But that'd be a good choice. Maybe you have a reunion and kind of get in the title once again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kyrie Zane is going to be showing up with the Buki Warriors,
Mm-hmm.
but Charlotte and Io definitely are my top pick, and that's something you want to give time. You want it
Mm-hmm.
to breathe a bit, give it the space between the women's tag SmackDown belt being defended. You know what I'm saying? Building that story up. I mean, that would be my order, but we'll see how they
True.
do it tomorrow because they might do something crazy like back to back TLC match when it's like no cool off period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's talk about Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. This is a match that it should be like main event, the match of the night, and it should have all type of element. We're talking about Jay Uso jumping in. We could talk about like a random person helping out Kevin Owens' aid if they wanted to. We could talk about the Uso betraying Roman. There's a lot of possibilities that could happen at the end of this match. But again, since we're predicting that Roman Reigns could be facing the Great One himself in WrestleMania, let's just say like Roman Reigns wins in a clean way. Let's just pretend it did.
Yeah.
But this
I think
match,
he might win by choke, like the rear naked choke that he does. I think, or
that
the guillotine. Sorry, that's the. I think that might be the way that he wins.
that or again the help of the family coming in
Yeah.
to the rescue, and then he just pinned him in a dirty way. Roman Reigns again. Roman Reigns is my pick of winning either clean or dirty in this TLC match because the possibility is endless.
Yeah, definitely. I got Roman Reigns winning as well. I feel like this. I know Kevin Owens is trying, especially for story purposes and stuff, but it's not. This is like Roman Reigns here. Like I don't think we're not gonna see anybody touching Roman Reigns after he did this big, head of the table situation. The only thing I'm worried
Too
about,
hot.
it's like
It's too hot.
who after Kevin Owens, we're not. I know we're building for Mania and this a bigger picture, but there's really hasn't been any contenders built for Roman and SmackDown,
Okay,
which
so
is kind of tough.
I mean, yes and no. Yes, because I know that if you all know about the Talking Smack Paul Heyman moment with Big E,
Mm-hmm.
you could tell like there is already a possibility
True.
that we could see a championship versus championship type of match real soon in the future between Roman Reigns and Big E. But right now anybody could like fill in that spot. To be honest with you, you could have Cesaro jump in. You could have
Mm-hmm.
Shinsuke Nakamura jump in. Cesaro could definitely have a similar story as Kofi Kingston because he has won nearly all the championship except the heavyweight championship in WWE.
True.
This could definitely be his moment for a push until WrestleMania, until we get confirmation that the great one himself could do it. Shinsuke Nakamura has been past champion. Uh, Daniel Bryan, past Universal Champion, or heavyweight champion, or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, trying to think other names.
Because the only one I've seen, you mentioned Daniel Bryan. I considered I've kind of been changed mindset about Big E since the summer, and especially his new um entrance and everything. But I know there's been rumblings of Goldberg once again popping up.
That's another motherfucker that
So
God,
I don't know because we saw this in
the bump. He
no,
said
was it Mania? We had Goldberg and yeah, we
we were
had
supposed
Goldberg
to.
and we were supposed to get Goldberg and Roman, but we didn't. So we could see that match finally be like that story or that situation be done for. But
Braun stepped in and took over that match and became
yeah,
heavyweight champion for some time period, which it really didn't go nowhere. So
true.
we could finally see this match happening. Like Goldberg could show up at the end
Hmm.
of
And you say
the
like you're next, and that's it. That's all he needs to say. Come out, say you're next, walk away.
yeah, because and the reason why we're saying Goldberg, we're emphasizing Goldberg a little bit more compared to the other names that I mentioned, but not Big E. Big E still
Yeah,
has that's like a SummerSlam type of moment. It's not WrestleMania worthy right now. The reason why Goldberg is because he was on the bump and he did comment that I'm not just to paraphrase like you stole my move, you did this, you did that, you ditch our match, so I'm coming after you. So most likely we could see Goldberg coming in for that moment because I don't think he's out of the picture yet. So we'll see.
true. Also, I found kind of interesting that we're not seeing United States Championship match so far. Today Saturday we'll see. So any
Bobby Lashley,
yeah
he
Bobby
could be
Lashley,
he
but
could also be an opener.
but he could be.
He,
But we haven't seen anything that could be a pre-show situation
yep,
or something. But we
an
haven't seen
opener.
anything
Yep.
about United States Championship. Also the SmackDown tag teams, the Street
Uh,
Profit. You know what I'm saying? Like we have the Raw tag team.
they but they came out of a big match
True.
against Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. So I think you could definitely give them a break
Yeah.
because they defended the belt that show. So
True.
it makes sense. It makes sense.
And also
The
I
tag team
hope we
champions.
see something for the Intercontinental or something, or maybe like some type of promo or some type of because
Mm,
yesterday we had the Sammys and Biggie. I like that they're starting a story in a
the
program to,
Sammys.
so it's so at least I like that Biggie is kind of like not forcing himself into a title picture, but he's gonna be up next for the IC.
Again, if you heard the Paul Heyman speech, I hell,
Yeah,
I think that's like one of the top five speech I ever heard in WWE history. I mean, like you
yeah,
guys could prove me wrong, but like the way how he sold that promo, my God, like Biggie is definitely going after Sami Zayn. Biggie seems to be the next two-time
mm,
IC champion, and I could definitely see Roman Reigns against Big E. Like there's a story building up
yeah,
for that. It's just mind blowing. You hopefully wishful thinking does happen in this case, but that's why Big E is not really
yeah.
much in the picture. But yeah, Sammy, the Sammys, yeah, what a dumb shit. And
Yeah.
I'm so yeah. I'm surprised it's not like one of the pre-show either. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Because
That could have been. You know what? The Sammys could have been a pre-show situation. They could have,
yeah,
but just to fill time, especially for the pre-show and stuff, or like Sammy just to be part of
well,
a pay-per-view.
the commentary,
Yeah.
the commentaries, they talk too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we kind of listen to it, but sometimes we don't. But you know what I'm saying? And
True.
like the only opener that I remember that if you missed out of a hell of a match. It was the New Day versus the Uso
Hmm.
for the belt, which was like an amazing pre-show so far. I don't think there has not been another pre-show that topped that match. I don't know if there's ever been one like that, but they went off. So
Are we having any our truth sightings at TLC? Any
of course
twenty four
we are.
seven change? He'd be like the 47th or 40 something times champion,
I
or
mean, he said the pig was a freaking Bray Wyatt's son, and then
yeah,
he asked him, "Is this is your son?" And he ran away,
yeah,
which is kind of funny because
yeah,
it's like back in the '90s,
yeah,
be like, "Oh, I gotta go get Bray and never
yeah.
come back." So, uh, yeah, we're gonna definitely have some R truth moment. We cannot have, wrestling without R truth in WWE. But the Providence Lucha Talk. If you guys wanna continue to listen to us, follow us on our Instagram, on our YouTube, where we've been posting more of the video. You could type in Providence Lucha Talk online to hear our audio portion of it, which is more lengthy, but You know, support your boys. Give us those thumbs up, 5 stars, and we'll appreciate you. So, with that being said, I'm Jay Aguila,
This is Luisito.
and we say peace.
See it.